Hi guys, welcome into our masterclass, how to rock your online class. This is probably one of the most requested classes just because I feel like the online world can feel a little bit overwhelming, and you can feel like you're spinning your wheels really quickly. And you want to be efficient with how you're showing up in the online space. You want to make sure that you're showing up, you're adding value, you're bringing people into your community, and you're actually pulling them into your business. Not just, believe me, we make a lot of friends in the online space, but you want to be actually building your business. And so sometimes I feel like there can be a lot of confusion around what does this look like? How can I actually teach an online class that I get qualified people there, I get people who are interested, I get people who actually enroll, and I get people who are engaging with me. The online space is such a different space because you're not face-to-face. You're not allowed, you're not allowing people to experience the oils in their hands, on their bodies, allowing them to smell the oils. So you're welcome. Hi guys. As you guys jump in, say hey, let me know who's tuning in with me. I do think that these master classes have been such an easy added on value of just being a part of our One Drop community. And really the online space is how I built the majority of my business. Now I will tell you guys that I do think teaching in person is so valuable. And I think it's actually going to make a really hot and heavy comeback. Just because as people are able to get together, they're going to want to regardless, right? So I don't think the online space is to quote unquote replace doing things in person. But what I do think is you can get really masterful at teaching an incredible online class. So, oh my gosh, Sharon is in Singapore and it's 1 a.m. Bless your heart for hanging out with me in the middle of the night. Hi guys, hi Danielle, hi Heidi, hi Nicole. Thanks for coming in and joining in with me, guys. This truly showing you guys how to teach an effective online class is such a passion of mine because you can be successful in the online space. I know that you may feel like, oh, I'm just spinning my wheels or I just don't have direction. How many of you guys feel like you just don't have direction of what do I do? Just tell me what to do and I will show up and I will put my heart and soul into it, but I just feel confused, right? So hi Heather, hi babe. Hey Michelle. So, Nara's tuning in from South Africa. So we have a good amount of people in this live with me. So I have created a custom ebook. This ebook is part of our One Drop subscription. This one has everything I'm going to go through with you guys today. So it will get uploaded today. I just actually put some final touches on it and it outlines the whole thing. Okay. So we're going to jump right into this because I don't want to waste your guys' time. But within this masterclass, what I'm going to show you guys is actually how to create a funnel. And this is important because long gone are the days of just posting a kit on my social media and being like, buy this. Okay. So I want to show you guys how to nurture your audience, how to grow and nurture your audience, and how to bring them into your spheres where they're excited to show up and learn from you, where they're excited to understand how much of an impact these oils can be in their life, right? So let's dive in deep. I know that there's a few comments of just like, I'm struggling on social media. How do I show up? I have taught a few classes already on your brand and on finding your niche market and finding your niche client. So let's talk real quick about what is a funnel. Because if you're not in any type of marketing, you might be thinking like, I don't even know what a funnel is, Key. And there's no shame in your game. You guys, this is not something that's taught. It really isn't. And so I want to teach you about this, okay? So a marketing funnel, simply put, is a funnel. A funnel is a visual representation of the steps a visitor takes from first finding out about you or your product until they convert into an actual consumer, okay? And whether that's a wholesale customer or wellness advocate, that's the funnel we want to bring them through, okay? So it's not spammy. I don't do anything that's spammy. Y'all know that by now, right? Like this is aligned, this is heart-centered, and this is attracting your ideal clients into your life, okay? So these don't have to be complicated, and they're actually made up of 4 parts: traffic, attraction, nurturing, and enrolling. Okay, so I want to go through a few steps with this. Number one is awareness. So this is the thing. People have to know about you, right? To get into your funnel. So social media platforms are a great way to build awareness and to kick off, like, to really expand who you are, what you represent. And this actually, I did a huge class on just your brand, building your brand for beginners. It's in this Facebook group. It's totally free, you guys. I did a whole class on branding because this is the thing. You have to know who you are, how you want to show up, what value you want to add. You have to run your social media like a business. This is not something that you can just like, I posted a cute picture of my kids and then I posted a kit. Like, no. We are running your social media like a business. And so if you walk into your social media with that mindset of, okay, this is my business. This is the tip I'm going to share today. I actually just did a mentoring call with one of my brand new leaders who's on fire right now. And we were talking about this, like, she asked me, how much time should I spend on social media, right? Like, because we all can get into the little vortex of social media, and like 2 hours later, we're like, what even happened? Like, it's like this dopamine hit high, and then you come out of it and you're like, what just happened to my life, right? And again, there's no judgment on that. It's just awareness. So when you pull out the awareness of what are you going into your social media to do, take some time, and I can't encourage you more to batch your content. And what I mean by batching is take your content 1 day a week, whether that's, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it is, and look at for the next 7 days or the next 5 days, however often you want to be posting, what are you going to post today? And then also batch out how many stories do you want to actually share for the day. If you're not doing stories, you are missing a vital part of growth on social media. Okay, people need to see you. They need to see your face. They need to connect in with your heart. They want to know who you are as a human being. People will actually fall in love with you before they'll fall in love with your product. Okay, so show your face, allow people to see who you are and to want to become friends with you. The know, like, and trust factor is vital to people getting into your funnel. Okay, so brand awareness is really, really important. That's where we start. All right. Interest. How do you know that you have an actual warm lead on social media? Number one, they follow your social media account. They comment on your posts. They'll DM you questions. They'll opt into your lead magnet, which we'll talk about. When someone is truly interested in what you have to offer, they are ready to connect in for more. And so when you are posting, pay attention to who comments, like and comment back to them, engage with them. Your social media is there for conversation, not just for the ego stroke of like, oh, I had, 20 people comment on my posts, like, or this one went viral. That doesn't matter. Your numbers, I have 118,000 people following me. It doesn't matter if I'm not actually cultivating a community on there, if I'm not showing up on there, right? So the people who are commenting, the people who are sliding into your DMs, and don't underestimate the people who are sliding into your DMs, and maybe they already have oils and they're like, hey, I have an earache and, what oils should I use, right? So often people are like, oh, well, if you're already enrolled, go talk to the person you enrolled with. I cannot stress enough. Okay, so first, you should write this down, actually. My first response when somebody slides into my DMs and asks me a question about oils is, hey, I would love to help you. Tell me what oils you have. Because it's not as abrasive of like, are you already enrolled, right? That's a pretty abrasive reaction, in my opinion, okay? So I asked them, tell me what oils you already have. Because sometimes people will respond back like, oh, I just grabbed some from Target. And I'm like, oh, no, we're not using those, right? Or some people will respond back, well, I have a bunch that I've had just sitting around. And then I can engage with them like, okay, tell me who you enrolled with. Who'd you purchase them from? And have you connected in with them with your questions? Because nurturing our customers is part of being a wellness advocate, right? And so I can start to engage in a conversation, and I will not tell you guys how many times I've engaged in a conversation with somebody in my DMs and helped them, even though they're already enrolled, even though they already have oils, and then they come back and they're like, hey, my sister actually wants to get oils now too, and you've been so helpful to me. I'm going to refer her to you because the person I enrolled with doesn't do it anymore. Or, you know, it's a random person who I've never talked to, right? And so when you cultivate relationships and you help people with boundaries, right? Because I mean, I get 300 to 400 DMs a day. So if I were to just spend my whole day in DMs, I would drown myself. But if you help people and you're kind and you engage with them, and you ask questions, then you can actually not only either help them get enrolled, but you can also get referrals, right? So keep that in the back of your mind with this, okay? So, okay, interest. Next one is desire. Going from a warm lead to a red hot lead takes nurturing and offers that pique the lead's interest. Now, this is the thing. Notice what people are commenting on. Notice the posts that you're putting up that maybe get a little bit more attention. Lean heavier into that because that means your audience that is already following you, that's what they want to see more of, okay? So in order to create desire, you need to nurture. And this can be chatting back and forth, building a relationship, supporting them in a Facebook group for leads, or a simple email sequence that answers most of the more commonly asked questions. And the goal is to get them to a class, a one-on-one, or to enroll autonomously, okay? So either way, that's our end goal, all right? Okay, and then last is action. Action is where your sales process comes in. Once you have your leads' undivided attention, whether it's, you know, them wanting to attend a class or do a one-on-one, now it's time to flex more of your expertise, but in a way that has a solid closing process. This is where so many people allow their limiting beliefs to completely, I want to say cock block, but to completely block you off of getting the sale, of enrolling somebody. So I think it's really, really important that to know that the nurturing sequence is to lead to a sale. And to understand that by not showing somebody how to get started with doTERRA, you literally are doing them a bigger disservice. It's like me being like, oh my gosh, I have the best thing for weight loss and it's amazing and I've lost so much weight and it's so easy and it's so fun and let me tell you all about it, and then being like, and that's it. And you're like, but wait, what is it? Like, how do I buy it? Tell me where to get it, right? Like, don't be a jerk. Tell them how to get the oils through you, right? Okay, so let's talk about how to build brand awareness, i.e. increasing your traffic to your actual social media, right? So at the top of the funnel is traffic. So to create traffic, you need to build brand awareness, which, y'all, we have the best oils in the world that we get to share. We don't have to source them. We don't have to ship them. We just get to talk about them, right? So, yeah. All right. So, in our first 2 masterclasses in this group for free, I have taught building your brand for beginners and captivating content creation. So how do you write copy that actually engages people underneath your posts? If you have not gone through those 2 masterclasses, again, they are free. Go through them. Download the ebooks. If you have your one-drop subscription, jump in, download the ebooks, and go through them, okay? This is really important to build your brand. Regardless of doTERRA, you need to be building your brand, okay? So creating content that is creating content in the most cost-effective way to build traffic at the top of your funnel. A few examples are you can do paid ads. I've never done paid ads, but you can do paid ads. Affiliates. You guys, this is kind of a like secret hidden gem, okay? So affiliates, influencers, they are golden. And I'm being fully transparent with you guys because I think this is really, really important. The easiest way to find growth in the online space is to tap into people who already have an audience who knows, likes, and trusts them, okay? Micro influencers, which are influencers that have anywhere from, I don't know, I would say even at this point, like 1,500, 2,000 followers to probably around 20,000 are the best to connect in with, okay? Where you're like, listen, I I would love to send you out some essential oils just as a free gift. I love following you. There needs to be zero strings attached. Zero strings attached. The minute you're like, hey, can I send this out to you? And you can do stories for me and you can do a post for me, you're going to get their media sheet, or they're going to ask you to pay them for it. And again, if you want to, you can. But influencers are the way that almost all of my girls who have a decent sized social media and enroll a good amount of people, they've connected in with other influencers that are in their sphere, okay? There are so many people on social media. So if you haven't taken some time to go through your social media and see who are the people who you love watching their stories, you love engaging with them, reach out to them. Hey, I have an affiliate program that I'm launching. Make your own program. You don't need doTERRA to create all the things for you. Maybe your affiliate program is for every person that you refer to me or that enrolls and tells me that you sent them. I will send you, 10% of whatever my commission is, or I will send you oils or whatever. I'll send you a diffuser for every 3 people that enroll with me through you. Create your own program. This is where you can step into the genius of being a business owner, all right? So, but affiliates are the way that truly affiliates or influencers that you can see massive growth with a lot less work. Does that make sense? But this is the other thing. On the flip side of that, you don't want to send out like this really beautiful package to an influencer and then have people come back to your page and be like, what? Who is this? Make sure that your social media feed is on point. Make sure that people know who you are. They know what you represent. They know, how you show up. They know what you have to offer. They see the tips and the tricks. They see the lifestyle. They see that they want to be a part of your sphere. Okay. So paid affiliates, influencers, referrals, blogging or guest blogging or podcasts. So those are all different ways to build traffic to your brand. All right. Okay, let's talk about nurturing your leads. So once you have traffic, it's time to pique their interest with something that would actually support or nurture them. Okay, so you can do this by hosting a Facebook group with your leads where you go live with like DIYs or classes, exclusives from your social media channel, whatever that looks like. You can create a lead magnet to get their email address. You want to try to get people off of social media into your email funnel, right? Whether it's an email funnel or a text funnel, get people's information. You don't own the social media site. And if anything were to happen, I don't think social media will be going anywhere, but if anything were to happen to your personal social media, you need to make sure that you actually have something that you tangibly own, right? Build your list. If you have not started building an email list, I would not recommend it more. Start now, okay? Set up an email sequence that walks them through some standard FAQs and objections. This also works with text campaigns, okay? You can use the close friends feature on Instagram to create exclusivity with your stories. And you know what's really cool about that? If you guys haven't played with the close friends part, I will pull specific leads into a close friends. And that's where only those people get to see my stories. Have you guys ever played with that? So most people ignore it because they're like, oh, I just want to share my stories to my whole audience. But if I have exclusive stories or exclusive promos that I only want to share with people who are not yet enrolled with me, they get plopped into that exclusive close friends. It's really cool, and it's kind of a hidden gem that not a lot of people use, okay? So, and then you can talk a little bit more freely in there too. So there's that. You can create a WhatsApp chat. So WhatsApp is a lot more popular throughout like Europe and Australia. And I don't feel like it's super popular in the US, but on WhatsApp, you can talk very freely about how these oils work and what you use them for. So you can invite people into a WhatsApp chat. You can host a live make and take that are not recorded. So this is something when I first launched doing the masterclass, I didn't record it. You RSVP for my masterclass, you show up. You don't get a recording because this is what happens. And actually I learned this from Tony Robbins, if I'm honest, because all of his events have been obviously virtual, right? Yeah, and South Africans, they love WhatsApp, yeah. But all of Tony Robbins' events have been virtual, right? Since the pandemic hit. But what he does is you don't get the recording. You show up. You said you're going to be there, show up and be there and consume it and be present. Because what happens so often if people know like, oh, I'll get the recording, they don't show up. And then you're teaching a class to like 2 people, even though you had 15 RSVPs. And it's so frustrating, right? Yeah, Michelle said they also use the app Telegram and it works. Yeah, Telegram is more like an announcement type of app. And then you can have chats on the side. So that's another great app. Thanks for that, Michelle. But I don't love the idea. I do record them for like my vaults for my community, but I don't love the idea of saying like, hey, if you can't attend this, then I'll send out the recording, because then it just gives people a reason to not show up. Okay. What about Band App? I've never heard of that, Angie. I've never heard of Band App. There's a ton of them though. And I think it's just figuring out like what works for you. How are you going to show up consistently, and how can you teach, and how can you make it feel exclusive? People love things that feel exclusive, right? We all want to be treated like, you know, the extra gift with purchase, or you get an exclusive invite into this, right? Yes. Okay. And then nurturing through social media, keep up with your DMs. Make sure that you have some type of CRM that is pulling people from your DMs and allowing you to keep notes. I use Google Sheets or Google Forms. No, not Google Forms, Google Sheets. Google Sheets? Google Sheets, yes. It's like Excel for Google, but it goes everywhere with me. So I use that and I just pop the person's name, where they funneled through. So Instagram, Facebook, emails, text messages, in person. And then my notes, like what did we talk about? What did I invite them to? Did they come to my class? Like that is where I compile all the information, right? Carla said, what do you feel about leaving the recording up for 48 hours? Yeah. And I mean, again, it works especially because, you know, obviously everyone has their own life and, you know, school or activities or events. If somebody can't attend my event in person, I just tell them, you know, email me and I can get you the recording. I don't like micromanaging at all. So if there is a one-off person that can't attend, but I would never announce that publicly. Like, oh, if you can't attend, just shoot me an email. So, but I will, when I launch masterclasses, I will get people who are like, shoot, I can't attend at that class. Is there any way that I can get access to this? And so there are a handful of people that I'll shoot the recording to. Okay. Do you have an example, Google Sheets, of how you do your funnel? So mine is like, it's not necessarily, it's just notes. Like, it's like, if you were on there, okay, so let's say it was, you know, I contacted Ashley. So like Ashley from Instagram DM'd me on this date. And, you know, this is what we talked about. You know, she has a baby who's colicky and I recommended this, and she, you know, she's going to enroll with this kit. And then I just put a follow-up date and I flag it. So I haven't found a CRM that I'm like obsessed with. So that's all it is. It's just like kind of an ongoing, and then I plug in like, where do I have them plugged into my funnels? Are they getting text messages from me? Are they getting emails from me? Are they in my Facebook community? Another really cool idea, you guys, is in your Facebook communities. I know we all have communities that are like our communities, right? Like it's an exclusive perk of being a part of my community, like enrolling on my team, is you get access to my Facebook community. But another really cool idea that you can do is allow people to experience your community, like have a 30-day trial of your community and pull them into there. I would make sure that you have their information flagged somewhere. But then they can not only see responses from you, but they can also see testimonials and responses from your community too, which I think is so powerful. My dogs are gonna bark. Maybe I should go. Hold on, let me shut my office door. Okay. Sorry, I have 2 very fierce Yorkies. Okay, so, but that's what I would do. And then you bring them into that funnel and you're following up with them. So you're not necessarily just, let's see if my dog will stop barking. You're not necessarily just, you know, pulling them into your group and letting them just sit there. Like, you're connecting in with them as you're going along, okay? So how do you show them the kits? So I'm going to go through that in my masterclass. Okay. So getting people to show up. How many of you guys struggle with getting people to actually show up to your class? I mean, it's a real thing, right? I might need to go put my dog in her kennel. So to get people into your actual class, you guys, we do not cold call. We do not cold DM. I have had people ask me, do you just send people a DM if they comment on your thing? No, 100% no. Like, no, I am not the girl who's like, hey girl, so you commented on my picture. No, we do attraction marketing. And hold on guys, I'm gonna have to put my dogs in their kennel because they're gonna keep barking. Hold on. Real life, guys, real life. My dogs get very angry when anyone's in my house or around my house. Okay, so this is the thing. Getting people to show up is not cold DMing. It's not sliding into people's DMs. It is attraction marketing. And this is the most powerful way of building this business in a way that's like authentic, that feels like you. It doesn't feel spammy, because this is where people tip over into that like gross energy of, I just need to keep texting them or emailing them or calling them until they tell me no. No, stop. That's not how we do this, okay? So, number one, if someone does not have an awareness of you, your business, or your brand, more than likely, they will not be interested in what you have to offer. Think about how many commercials you watch in a day, if you watch TV, or even how many ads you see on your own social media, right? Then think about that in a week, and then think about that in a month, and how many of those items do you actually buy that you see in a commercial, okay? So these commercials are actually building brand awareness, but if, you know, Ford Automotive reached out to you and was like, hey, do you want to buy a car? You'd probably be like, no, I'm good, thanks. Like, this has nothing to do with spamming people. So if that's your idea in your head of how you're going to get people to enroll with you, that is wrong, in my opinion, in my humble presidential diamond opinion, who has built a successful business online. We don't spam people, okay? So while inviting can be called a numbers game, it's more important to find and invite qualified leads that are engaged and excited with what you have to offer to your one-on-one or to your class. Now, people that opt into your lead magnet or those who are DMing you frequently are perfect to invite into a masterclass, okay? So this is about creating the value as you're going on, attracting your ideal client. If you have not sat down and wrote out who is your ideal client, who would you love to serve? Again, we went through a lot of this too in kind of your branding, but who is that person who you would love to serve and show up for? Who is the person who would be perfect in your community? If you were to go to coffee and sit down with somebody, who is at your table, okay? These are your ideal clients. These are the people who, and I went through this when we talked about creating copy and writing content, but who are the people that you are actually talking to? This is really important, because if you're just like, but Key, I just want to help everyone, I don't really care. You do care, because you wouldn't allow everyone around your table. So who are the people who you genuinely want to be connecting in with? When you're posting, when you're connecting in with influencers, when you're building your business in the online space, when you're talking in the online space, you need to make sure that you understand that that's who you're talking to. That's who you're attracting into energetically attracting into your sphere, okay? So, but if they are commenting on your pictures, if they are sliding into your DMs, if you know, they're following you or they're opting into your lead magnet, which I'll talk about that in a second, then those are your ideal clients, okay? So as you're nurturing, make a list and update that list with the people's notes. Like I was telling you guys, I use Google Sheets. So I update my notes all the time. I've talked to this person about this. You know, this person slid into my DMs. And so your focus with your business in the online space is to nurture, add value, nurture, make them feel, you know, a part of your community. People will seek out my social media just to see my stories, just to see what's going on in my world because I nurture them so much, okay? Where do we find those copywriting content? Lindsay, search in the masterclass in here. There also is if you search my name under OneDrop, there's an ebook that talks about creating copy that actually converts and engages, okay? What does sliding into your DMs mean? So on social media, on Instagram, and it would be, I guess, your private messages on Facebook, but on social media, you have direct messages. So somebody can be following me and they can type me a direct message, which is kind of like, I guess, like an instant message or an email on the Instagram platform. So they can slide into your DMs and say like, hey, I've been following you for a while. You know, I'm really struggling with stress and anxiety. What would you recommend me starting with, or what oils should I be turning to? Okay. So that's what I mean by sliding into your DMs. Good question. Okay. So creating action, you reel them in with your incredible content. You pique their interest and they want to learn more from you. Now you're nurturing them and answering their questions and they're ready for the next step. And now they're at your class. So delivering an incredible class and closing them. This is why I am obsessed with the virtual Masterclass Toolkit. It literally is everything I was searching for. I was so bored of the plain white, you know, PowerPoint slide decks and the like, this is how you use the oils. This is what it is. Like I obviously am aesthetically inclined, hence why I co-founded One Drop Designs, because I wanted pretty graphics. I wanted a pretty, you know, I like things to look good. It is important to me, okay? So that being said, the Masterclass Toolkit was created by my business partner, Brad, and he nailed it. And it's not just a slide deck. That's what I want to stress to you guys. This kit includes social media posts to invite people. It also gives you a beautiful and engaging slide deck that's on Google Slides. So you can use it as long as you have Google Slides. You can customize it. It is all customizable to your brand. And it has a beautiful ebook, which that's probably one of my favorite parts because that is your lead generator. Hey, you want to come to my masterclass? Opt in and you will automatically get this ebook for free. And then you get a seat in my masterclass, okay? And I will teach you all of the fundamentals of how these oils can truly change your life, right? It's not customizable for language. So right now it is released in the US market and it was just released in the Canadian market. And I talked Brad into keeping the price point, pushing the price point down for the US market one. The Canadian one just launched. So currently they are both at, I want to say $69, 69 bucks. I'm pretty sure he dropped them to 69. They're normally a $99 toolkit, but to create everything that he has created. So again, you have I think it's a 5-page ebook. And what I love about the ebook is I am so over ebooks that are just the presentation. Like I don't need a regurgitation. I'm all about efficiency. And so the ebook not only leads them into, you know, obviously like how to use oils. I give top blends in there, like a libido boosting blend, a stress less blend. I give blends in there that are actually applicable to major issues and ailments that people struggle with, okay? So we're piquing their interest in what different blends that they can start to incorporate to help to support their bodies. Then we have diffuser blends in there. We have a whole page of safety and tips and a whole page of resources. Like where do you buy all of the rollerball thingies and all the things like, and it's for multiple countries. Okay. So This is a premium item. This is not part of the subscription. It is a premium item because it is reusable. Okay, so this is something you purchase it once and you get it and you get all the updates. Like doTERRA just changed the kits a few months ago. He updated all of them. And what's really cool about it is it's so interactive. It has QR codes. So if you're teaching in the online space and somebody's like, oh, I want to know more about the Healthy Start Kit, there's a QR code on there that they can take a picture of, and it actually leads to a back end part of OneDrop that shows them, like, lavender is good for soothing, for, you know, skin irritation, for all the things that lavender is good for. It's not just a picture, but it explains what these oils and products are good for. And the reason why we put it on the back end of OneDrop and not linked back into doTERRA is because we don't want your customers going to doTERRA's basic website and enrolling just on doTERRA's website. We want them enrolling with you. Or if you're teaching the class for somebody on your team, or you're co-teaching it with another person, we want you to be able to put your specific link in there. And so he shows you how to create your own QR code for your specific link. And he's created all of these like interactive ways to understand the kits, which I think is so freaking valuable. Okay, because that's the thing, is the online classes move fast. And so for us who know doTERRA, we look at the kits and we're like, well, yeah, that's the small bottles, that's the bigger bottles, that's adaptive, you know, that's lavender. But for somebody who's green to essential oils, they're probably like, well, why do I need copaiba over frankincense in a 5 ml bottle versus a 15 ml bottle? And you do explain a lot of this through the class, but this at least gives them an idea, like, oh, adaptive's good for reducing anxious feelings. Okay, like it just explains it more in writing in front of their face, right? Will the Canadian QR codes be linked to OneDrop? Those ones, I would have to ask him, but they are all linked to the back end. So I'll ask him about that, Nicole, to see if he's building that out. But I think it's really important to allow your people to see what's in the kits. And I think that that's where it goes too fast for people. It's one thing, as you're teaching the front end of the class, you are teaching about, like, what are essential oils? Why are they great? How can they help people? We give people prompters through that of why are you here? Because this is one thing, you can talk till you're blue in the face about how incredible oils are, but if you're sitting there and you're like, Key, I have digestive health issues like nobody knows, and I will never say a word because it's embarrassing and I don't want to say anything in front of people. And all I'm talking about is, you know, lavender for like calming and soothing, but I know because I asked you and you commented, like, I'm curious about digestive health. I know that I can talk about, well, lavender is great for soothing any irritation within the body, regardless, right? I can talk about digestion. I can talk about Terrazyme and how life-changing it is. I can talk about PB Assist and how important it is to get that good bacteria in your gut, right? So it's not available yet in the European market. We just launched the Canadian market. So it is, and once you guys see the Masterclass Toolkit, you'll be like, yeah, it literally took him 2 to 3 weeks to build it out. And it would probably, if I contracted just a web developer to build it out for me, it would probably have costed me about $2,500. So again, it's just like, I needed it for my business. And I know if I'm needing it as a presidential diamond and as somebody who's building in the online space, I know so many other people need it too, right? So it does get updated all the time. I think that might be it. So I want to go through some other tools that I use. I kind of just jumped ahead to the masterclass, but this has my favorite tools in it, okay? For building in the online space. Yeah, Kayla said it's a beautiful masterclass. It is, and you can customize it. Like, the cool part too is on the ebook, we have a spot where you can put in there by Keely Martinez, by, you know, whoever you are, you know, maybe it's your brand or whatever, but when you purchase it, it's for your personal use. So this is also not something integrity wise that you purchase and then you like hand out to your team. So just so you know, it is for your personal use. If you have leaders on your team that are like, oh my gosh, I want to use that too, they can go into OneDrop and purchase their own download so they can customize it for themselves. Okay. So other favorite tools, obviously Instagram. I love Instagram. I use it all the time. That's how I've grown my whole business. it's free, guys. It's a free tool. It's a free marketing tool, and there is more than enough space for you to make some noise on there. Okay. So, where do you find it? What is it called? So search Masterclass. You should actually be able to search it as one word or two words. Or you can search Brad Jones. He's the creator of it. So, yeah, and we have some people who are translating it too. That is another huge request is to translate it into other languages. Spanish would probably be the first one, but German has been another one too. Yeah. Okay, so Instagram, Zoom. So you might be wondering, well, how do I teach this? Because this is not a class that you teach in Facebook, okay? This is a class that you want to be teaching interactive, and it should be on Zoom. I use Webinar Jam just because I have I run a lot more programs through webinars, but you can use Zoom, or if you do, you don't have to pay for webinars, but Zoom is a great one. Canva is another tool that I absolutely use if you haven't jumped into Canva to even put watermarks on your OneDrop downloads. Canva is an awesome tool, and it's so fun to get in there and to play around with. Flowdesk is what I use for my email funnels. So this is how I do my newsletters. This is how I do my connection email funnels to potential leads. It is beautiful, and it's really simple. So like, unless you have like a ton of different programs that you're offering or a ton of different things, Flowdesk is amazing, and it's only $19. And I think I have a link in here in the OneDrop group that gives you the $19 price. Okay. It is an affiliate link. I don't even know what I make from it, but it is an affiliate link. I'll just disclose that. I use MemberVault for all of my recordings, for all of my classes, for all of my courses. I just like it. It's really easy. It's like a module type of website that you can utilize. You don't have to have a membership website. I just use it for my team because my team's so large. Okay. Flowdesk, Flowdesk. And again, this is all in your ebook to download. Okay. So yeah, Flowdesk. And then Squarespace is what I built my website on. I get that question all the time. How'd you build your website? What'd you do? I use Squarespace. It's really affordable, and it's really user-friendly. And then the virtual Masterclass Toolkit is how I teach my essential oil how I teach my classes and how I show up for people. And I do charge. And so when you get the Masterclass Toolkit, you actually get an hour-long tutorial with me that explains all of the back end of why I do what I do. I actually recorded it for my fundamental students, but that part of like, why do I charge people? How do I get them in there? What do I like? Why do I talk about this way? Like, it is all in there. There's an hour-long private training for you to go through and to understand the nuances of why I do what I do. Okay. So you're going to love it, babe. Seriously. You get your social media graphics with it. That includes a Canva template with quick customizations that can be used again and again and again. It's obviously gorgeous, highly informative, customizable ebook for you to send out as your little freemium to your customers. And actually, even the ebook would be good to put into a welcome email too. So like, if you have customers who maybe they didn't attend your masterclass, or maybe they're not super engaging with you, put the ebook in an email to them and just say like, hey, as one of my customers, I, created this ebook for you, and I wanted you to have, a really simple beginner ebook for you to jump into and to utilize. Okay. Linda got it. See, you guys are going to love it. And if you've purchased it, I would love for you to comment below. This is the thing, is when you have a tool you're excited about, your energy skyrockets, and the way you show up is different, and your confidence is different. So take the time to dig into this and to understand how to show up with this masterclass. This is not, yes, it is very customizable, but take the time to customize it and to create your own funnel with it where you're excited about it. When I'm excited about something, I attract people like crazy. When I don't understand something, I'm like, I don't really know. And I literally block myself. So once you purchase it, commit, put it on your calendar to jump in and to customize and to understand how to implement. Okay. See, Nicole loves it. So yes, passion sells for sure, babe. So you also get your Masterclass Google Slides presentations, which will blow your mind. You get incredible educational resources with QR links. So we also have an LLV ebook in there. We have the LLV guide, and then our starter kit pages that are linked up, success tips, and free updates for life, which is highly valuable if y'all understand how much doTERRA switches our kits up. So those are your tools. That is how I create funnels in my online space. And again, this is treating your business like a business and being honest about how you're showing up. Are you showing up in the online space just to find friends and to get accolades and to get comments? Or are you showing up to run a business? And even I say this because I give myself the same pep talk over and over, because I am human just like you, where I'm like, oh, I should probably post today. I should probably share something. I should probably teach a masterclass. And so, you know, something that even I want to get better at is sitting down, looking at my calendar and being like, okay, I'm going to teach a masterclass every Thursday. That's my, you know, I'm going to show up and do this this day. And this is my funnel. And this is, because once you have clarity of what this looks like, it's easy. And if something's easy, you'll actually do it, right? So what do I use for newsletters? I use Flowdesk. I use the same email campaign, and I actually download my graphics from OneDrop and I watermark them and I put them into my newsletter. And yeah, can I please tell you again what apps I'm using? So my favorite tools are all actually in here, guys. So they're all there. Favorite tools. I promise you I would not leave you high and dry. Instagram, Zoom, Canva, Flowdesk, Member Vault. You guys, and again, these are only if you need them. Member Vault does cost. Squarespace is for my website, and then the virtual Masterclass Toolkit. And again, we have that introductory price. It'll be good till the end of this month. I believe till the end of this month for 2 weeks, that you can snag up the Masterclass Toolkit for a discount. So I would highly recommend, if it's something you're intrigued in, go and grab it now and decide to customize it, decide to show up, decide to be that person in the online space that has a really clear funnel. Because this is also what happens when you're really clear about how you're showing up. Then all of a sudden your team, your leaders, your customers are like, oh shit, she knows what she's doing. If I want to do this business, then I'm going to do it with her because she knows what she's doing, right? So the clarity is not just for, you know, your confidence, but it's also because you have a lot of eyes on you, whether you want to admit it or not. There's a lot of people watching what you're doing, okay? So this will, Kayla, this is actually the ebook that I just read off of, Rocking Your Online Class. It'll be uploaded into OneDrop today. So it just goes hand in hand with this training that I do for free for this community, okay? So I've talked your ears off. I actually have to jump off because I have another coaching call I have to jump on, but hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. And I promise you guys, I only share things that I do because I understand I'm in the same boat as you. I am rowing right next to you, and I want to teach people about these oils because we all know the impact that these oils make. We all know how life-changing this business can be. And so when we stay in the energy of clarity and confidence and gratitude and excitement, your business will flourish no matter what's going on in the world. We can all look at circumstances and think, this is why, this is why. Or you can look at circumstances and think, you know what, I'm going to flourish through this. I'm going to show people, I'm going to be the lighthouse during a time where it feels a little bit, I don't know, like a storm, right? So you decide whatever you focus on will expand. And so if your focus on this online class is, you know what, I'm going to buy this Masterclass Toolkit and I'm going to show up and I'm going to attract incredible people into my organization who love the way that I show up and who are my people, who if I had, you know, a massive table, they would all be around my table, okay? So what you focus on is how this is going to play out. And so make a decision right now that what you're focusing on is going to be expansive and exciting and new growth and rebirthing your business. All right. I love you guys. I'm cheering for you more than you ever even know. And I hope that all of this has been helpful, and reach out if you guys have any questions. We're always here to help. Okay. All right. We'll see you guys next week. See ya.